Hello my fellow golfers and welcome back to the channel. So in this video we've got a shot-for-shot vlog from last year's round at Wildstone Golf Course, which is an easy top 10 course for me, and there's a few reasons for this. Number one, I've never experienced course conditions as pure. There was not a blemish to be found on the course, and the greens, fairways, and rough were absolute perfection. Literally what I would expect to see at a private golf club in the US or even PGA Tour events. It's also a really fun layout with tons of bunkers, island greens, and unique holes. And I honestly think if I could have a membership anywhere right now, this may be one of my top picks, just given the conditions and playability. So much fun playing here. Let's jump into the round, and remember, you better be keeping the ball straight. Hole 1 here is a beautiful par 5. Who doesn't love starting off with a birdie opportunity? It's not overly lengthy and very fair. You've got a couple fairway bunkers and then that signature bunker up and around the green. Terrible drive off the hop, just duck hooked it into that first bunker. Thankfully I had a fortunate bounce out, and this is where I started to learn how thick this rough truly was. I pulled out the 3-iron and more or less scuffed it, and then had a 7-iron in on my third shot, which would also end up short. Looking to make up and down here to save par. Being a par 5, do not want to walk away with a bogey. Thankfully, I made the putt. Walking on to hole number 2, even par.
Not a bad way to start.
So number 2 is a 488-yard par 4, significantly downhill, so it does play a lot shorter, even though that is some lengthy yardage from a par 4 standpoint. Couple bunkers to worry about, and it is a fairly intimidating tee shot. Kind of need ball movement from right to left. Just hit a straight pull drive down the left side, which actually worked out really well.
Just look at that sunset with the mountains there. We got 170 downhill, 8-iron in. I guess that's what happens when you have a 488-yard par 4. Whew.
Pulled my 8-iron straight to the left side, over the back of the green. Ended up being too much club. Left a little bit more work on this one, about 12 feet here to save par. And tapping that in for the bogey. So we are moving on to the third. The one cap on the course, 460 yards uphill. Once again, pulled the driver into that left side bunker. At least I know what I'm doing wrong here. And hit an absolute beauty of a 6-iron out of this bunker onto the left side of the green. And we've got ourselves a challenging, super long putt here. The camera does not do this justice. Just a massive green. And these greens were rolling so fast. So I launched this about 20 feet past and had a comebacker to try and save par, which I would miss, tapping in the bogey 2 over through 3 holes. Moving on to number 4. Take a look at that view, just absolutely stunning. So hole 4, short, par 4, only 320 yards, so it's in the go zone for a lot of longer hitters, and I figured, why not test my luck, play a cut, and worst case scenario, we're in a bunker. Turns out I ended up slicing this into the trees. Thankfully, I had a slight window and threaded the needle there. Got a nice kick left, and we are tight for a birdie look here. So, see if I can make my first birdie of the day. Side door Sally, back down to 1 over, moving on to the easier par 4, 5th hole, 380 yards down the hill, 13 cap. What you see is what you get, and I just pumped my driver. One of my better shots of the day, straight down the pipe.
Oh, that could be down there.
Had a little chip here, just kind of launched off the club face a little more than anticipated, but all things considered, can't complain with that. And I would lip out the birdie putt. You know what? Tap in pars on a new course, I will always take. Hole number 6 here, 17 cap, fairly straight on par 3, nice large green, so as long as you can walk away with a 2-putt, should be a good standing here. No reason to miss this green. Once again, a stunning view with the mountains and the pond and the cabins around. My tee shot was a little bit short. You know, it's a 2-tiered green, had a long uphill putt.
Look at that roll out.
Hammered it past, missed my second putt. The 3-putt bogey, moving on to number 7 here. A beast of a par 5. It's a dog leg left, so unless you can hit a high draw, you really have to lay up, which I was doing with a 4-iron so as to not go into the rough. Hit a perfect 4-iron right down the middle here, so we're in a good spot. And we're pulling out a 4-iron here yet again, which I would kind of skull it. So we have a long ways in for our 3rd shot here, and 5-iron to try and get up to the green and give ourselves a birdie putt. A little bump and run chip here, which should be a pretty easy up and down for most golfers. And look at this thing roll.
Word of advice, play your chips about 20 feet short and they'll probably still get there.
Rolled that off the green, and like I said, this course, the conditions are so pure that if you do not hit the perfect speed, you are going to do what I just did and roll that off the green.
I gotta figure out how to play these par 5s better. And putt and chip.
Number 8, 183 yards. Bit more challenging than the last one for sure. You've got a false front there, a bunch of bunkers around. Pretty easy chip here because there's a backstop behind the green. I actually wanted to send this past the flag and have it roll back. I just didn't give it quite enough juice, and then just tapped this putt. Did not think it was possible to leave that short, and I did. Moving on to the signature par 5 9th hole, 503 yards. You've got a clump of trees down the middle. Kind of want to stay to the right of those to give yourself a look at getting to the green in 2. And then your second shot must be a large draw to get in there. Hit a perfect drive just to the right of those trees. We've got a look here to get to the green in 2. And a great shot sequence here with a nice 5-iron draw around those trees. Cut the corner to perfection.
That could be really good.
And trying to make an up and down here. The little chip and a putt to get a birdie. And it was not meant to be. So we're walking away with par. Hole number 10 now. 18 cap, easy par 5 down the hill. Back-to-back birdie opportunities with these 2 par 5s, 9 and 10, so it would be an absolute shame if I don't birdie at least one of them. Second shot here, 214 yards, and we've got a little 37-yarder with the 58 degree, which I didn't quite get to the hill, so it did not roll down, making this a challenging look for bird. Leaving myself about a 6-footer here. I'll call it a 4-footer to try and save par. Thankfully that would drop, so we remain at 4 over.
Missed birdie opportunity yet again.
And the 11th, one of my favorite holes on the course. It's nice and open, so you can kind of just grip it and rip it off the tee. I hit a nice baby draw down the middle and would give myself about a 150 shot here, which I thought was going super long. It ended up being just perfect right in the middle of the green. Give a little downhill putt, which I sent way past the hole. These greens were just ripping. Uphill to save the par, would knock that in. Heading on to number 12, which is a beautiful par 3 island green. You've got rainbow trout all underneath the bridge there. Seven iron here, great little cut just right of the pin.
Look at all those rainbows swimming around. Beautiful.
And we've got a look for birdie.
Deuce, baby.
making it happen. Down to +3, moving on to the 13th hole, which is another par 5. 531, 16 handicap. Another makeable bird. Can he do it? Driver's coming out. Almost missed the stinking ball, but we'll call it a stinger. Right down the middle. Gapper's coming out. Hit great connection, but somehow this drew, and we're in the trees with a 56 wedge, my rock club, and hit a great shot here. Had a full swing, thankfully. Could have been a lot worse, but members bounce, let's call it. Putting this one up the hill, over a tier, massive amount of break, clearly, and would knock the par putt in. Thankfully, I was making most of those 3-4 footers throughout the day. As we move on to number 14, 2 handicap, 483 yard par 4, smashed my drive right down the pipe. And then I wanted to play that exact same shot just with a 6-iron, which was more club than I needed, and just way overcut it. So call it a slice. Bunker shot here. Has a chance. So close, but it did not quite drop. Giving myself a 6-footer to save par. Can't have them all. Lipped it out.
These greens do not break nearly as much as they look. Long putts, yes, they're slidey, but on these short putts, they're not moving a lot. So inside cup, anything within 6 feet, I would say.
15th, par 3, 242 yards. Yes, you read that right. 242 yard par 3. Just a beast of a hole from the tips here. You know what's coming out? The gapper. And just slice this one into oblivion. We're going hunting into the trees. Would find that ball. Was just in the right side rough. Not too bad. Hit what I thought was a decent wedge shot here. But look at that thing break. So it was headed straight for the pin. Caught the hill. Away we go, and we've got a long par save. Left that just outside the friend zone. Thankfully, would make it. Moving on to another par 3 here, back to backs. 174 yards uphill, probably playing closer to 185. We're at 5 over, 7 hours coming out. Just absolutely connected with that sucker over the back of the green. Flop shot time. Had a chance, but we've got another tester for par. Thankfully would knock that in, remaining at 5 over, moving on to the 17th. Odds are looking good at breaking 80 right now, so just got to walk away with, ideally, a par through these last 2 challenging holes. 17 is a dog leg left, lots of sand. What you see is what you get. Gappers coming out. Safety first here on these last 2 holes when we're putting together a good round. Great 8-iron shot just to the right side of the green, and we've got a decently long birdie putt here. Chris had joined me at this point, the general manager, so he gave me some serious help on the read, and as you can see, it worked out because I didn't have a 6-footer for par, and it was just a tap in.
Okay guys, so coming up on hole 18 here, and general manager at Wildstone, Chris Andrews here, is joining me for the final hole of the day. And what a day it has been. I can honestly say, and I've played a lot of nice golf courses this year, I think these are the best conditions I've played yet. The fairways are so nice, the greens are unbelievably responsive with approach shots, and they're screaming fast. Loving every minute of it. I will definitely be back. Chris, would love to hear your synopsis on the course.
Okay, well thanks Ben, I'm glad you really enjoyed the golf course. It sets up well, especially on a nice morning like this when you get the first look and the first rolls on those greens.
Yeah.
Greens we try and keep them about 9.5 on the stimp. There's a lot of undulation to them, but as you found out, course conditions are good. Fairways are fair, lots of width.
Yeah.
Not overly penal, and just a fun golf course to play.
Yeah.
And that was part of the Black Knight design with Gary Blair and the designer Jeff Lawrence did a great job.
Loving it. Wildstone Golf Course, you got to try it out. Cranbrook, BC. Hole 18 here. Let's make it happen.
So 18th hole, in my opinion, the hardest hole on the course. It's just a beast of a par 4. You have to hit a perfect drive over that right side bunker. If you do what I do here, and pull it straight down the middle, it's going into that far fairway bunker, which is a very difficult shot. I had kind of a downhill lie 4-iron, didn't get all of it, moving into the right side rough. And Chris is literally playing this hole to perfection. You can tell the guy's a player. He knows how to golf. Just such a pure swing. His driver carried that bunker on the right-hand side perfectly. Second shot here, just to the left side of the green. He's got a 2-putt par coming up. You know it's going to happen. Meanwhile, I'm hacking my way around this 18th hole, just trying to salvage some level of respect. And hit what I thought was a decent chip here. I ended up just sending it past the hole. So that's kind of the story of the day, is everything went way long just with how fast these greens were. Very nice birdie putt, nestled that one in there, would tap in the par putt, so he made it happen. Meanwhile, I am not making my bogey putt, walking away with a double bogey, 79 on the day. But man, what a course. If you ever have the chance to travel through Cranbrook, I know there are so many great courses in Kimberley, Cranbrook, Invermere. We recently released the videos at Grey Wolf, but this is one that any chance I get, I will be playing it. The conditions are so good. The course layout is so much fun. Just an absolute treat to play. So thanks for watching. Please remember to hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment below. We'll see you next time.